I want to introduce to you Robin. She is with Pivot Health. She will be going over some product and enrollment training today, give you a brief introduction to their products and what they have available to you as a great option. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn over the controls here to Robin.
Great. Thank you so much. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. I wanted to go over two products today from Pivot Health, and one is a short-term medical product, and the other is a limited medical product that we'll be going over. Pivot Health, to start off, you probably want to know who Pivot Health is. Pivot Health was launched in 2016 by group of insurance professionals. It's a product development, management, and marketing company that provides alternative insurance solutions to the individual marketplace. It, again, was founded by innovative, experienced insurance leadership, managing more than $7 billion of insurance premium. It is backed by Access Capital, which is on the New York Stock Exchange. They're an international financial services company, and they have more than $6 billion in assets. The first product I want to go over is the short-term medical product. The short-term medical product offered through Pivot is underwritten by Companion Life. Companion Life is a 40-year-old company, and it's been rated A+ for the past 15 years. Pivot Health uses Companion paper for their product. So why short-term medical? Well, with the ACA in its form as it is today, there's many reasons why a short-term product could be an alternative for your customers. Kaiser recently reported that there are over 27 million people that have a gap in their coverage for more than 90 days. Also, just released from CMS within the last 30 days was a new report which stated that there's going to be 1,400 counties. Nearly 47% of the counties will have one or less ACA plan choices in 2018. So that's about 2.6 million exchange lives that are not going to have either a choice or carrier at all. The candidates for short-term, people that missed open enrollment, they're recently unemployed, looking for a COBRA alternative, maybe an adult child that's aging off their parents' plan that doesn't yet have that employer. We do provide a child-only coverage, so you can have child-only coverage on this plan. People that are waiting for their employer benefits and employed but have no coverage, or they just can't afford ACA. Another report that Kaiser put out is 46% of the uninsured population under age 65 cites reason why they can't have insurance. So, not only are the deductibles so large that if you do get sick, it's pretty hard to make up that deductible, but just the premiums alone are really making it a struggle for people to have insurance. So, short term. A couple things to know about short term. Recently this year, there was a new ruling that came out that said that for short-term policies, 90-day coverage, you could only have up to 90-day coverage. You couldn't have any renewals, and it was on one insurance certificate or policy. So it was 90 days per certificate or policy. The uniqueness about the Pivot Health short-term plan is that we issue 4 back-to-back plans to give your client 360-day coverage. So it's 4 90-day coverage policies that we issue back-to-back. There's no medical underwriting for the additional certificates. There's no new pre-X waiting periods for the additional certificates. Your client can cancel them at any time, and there's also lower coverage maximums that they can choose, which will allow them to choose lower cover maximums to get up to $1 million. So how does this work? There, at time of issue, there's 4 applications that are issued at one time of sale. Each application is dated with a sequential 90-day effective date. So after the first 90-day coverage is up, the next coverage starts for the next 90 days. It's a new policy. The insured gets brand new certificates. They get brand new ID cards. Their deductibles and their coverage maximums do start over. However, as I stated earlier, there's the pre-X look back is from the first effective date. There's no new medical qualifications, no new pre-X waiting period. There's also a cost savings to this. The rates are locked in to the 4 coverage periods, so there's no trending on the additional coverage periods. And also, there's only one enrollment fee for all 4 coverages, so they don't have to pay that enrollment fee 4 times. So just a quick highlight of the plans. There are 4 plans that give you a wide range of benefits and that are very affordable. The deductibles range from $1,000 to $10,000. Co-insurance is 70/30 or 80/20. Doctor copays, we do have 2 plans that have doctor copays for primary and specialists. Again, the coverage period is for 90 days. The max benefit coverage period is $100,000 all the way up to $1 million, depending on the plan that you choose. And there is RX coverage on 2 of our plans. There's a $500 deductible for preferred drugs. And we'll go over that in a little bit. Again, we do like to make sure that we mention throughout the presentation that this is short-term. It does not qualify as minimum essential coverage, and that there could be tax penalties if the client doesn't have the essential coverages. This will give you a little bit of a comparison of the products, kind of a quick comparison. The economy product and the choice product they're on top because they are our most popular plans. The economy product is a 70/30 co-insurance. The deductible ranges from, you can pick $1,000 all the way up to $10,000. The maximum benefit is $100,000 or $500,000, and again, that's per coverage period. So that would reset for each certificate. There's no RX coverage on this, and there's no copays on this, and the premium is lower than the choice plan. The choice plan by far is our best selling product. The coinsurance is 70/30. The deductible is $1,000 to $10,000. There's no doctor copays and no RX coverage, and the maximum benefit is $100,000 or $250,000 per coverage period. Excuse me. So, and then the standard product is an 80/20 product, and the deductibles are $2,000 to $5,000. The coverage period maximum is $250,000 to $500,000, and there's no doctor copays on this, but there is a prescription drug benefit on this plan. The deluxe plan is our richest plan, 80/20 again, coinsurance, and the deductibles are $1,000 to $5,000. But this has a benefit period maximum of $500,000 or $1 million. So this one goes up to the $1 million coverage. Some other features that we think are differentiators with the Pivot Health short-term product, there's no network. So there's a freedom of choice for the client to go to any doctor or facility, and the Pivot Health uses the Medicare reference-based pricing. So what they do is they pay 50% above Medicare for facilities and 25% above Medicare for physicians and professional services. There is an explanation on the ID card for the provider as well as for the insured to make sure that they tell the provider to call the number and get the information. Also, there is no balance billing. If a physician balance bills a customer, Pivot Health through Allied National has a highly trained team of professional negotiating staff that handles all balance bills for the customers if they occur. And this is balance bills due to the discount. They still are, of course, responsible for any out-of-pocket costs, deductibles, and co-insurance. Oops, I'm sorry. Additional benefits. The short-term medical plan is filed as an association benefit. For Communicating America is the name of the association. With that, there's a $49 doctor telehealth benefit, which is 24/7. This is a $49 per use fee. It doesn't go towards your deductible, no or anything like that. There's also a vision benefit, and there's a discount benefit, 15 to 30% savings. And there's also a prescription drug discount benefit for the plans that don't have the RX benefit. So let's see. Let's do a cost comparison here so that you can see the difference in the premium based on an ACA plan. So, you know, this is an example that we use. This is for 2017 pricing. This doesn't have the new rates in here, but Silver Plan, which is the popular plan on the ACA side, we use two deductibles, a $5,000 and a $2,000. The monthly premium for the $5,000 is $300, just under, and for the Silver $2,000 plan, it's $333. Compared to the Pivot plan with the same deductible, which is $5,000, you would pay $95 a month for the Pivot plan, and with a $2,000 deductible, you would pay $186. So the short-term cost difference is about $1,400, and that's including the tax penalty that it could occur for not having essential benefits on the plan. So quite a bit of savings that a client can have. Kind of takes out the sting of having insurance and paying all the premiums. So what's the process for Pivot Health for the short-term product? Every agent that gets appointed with Pivot Health will receive a unique URL link for you to have to put on your website, to send to your clients, and this URL has your writing number embedded into the URL. So when they go, what happens is that they, and we'll show it a little bit later, is that they will go on a website, quote, enroll, and that business will be credited to you. Applying is very simple. There's 5 medical. If someone answers yes to any of the questions, they will be denied coverage and declined. It's right on the spot. They know then and there that they don't get coverage. Applicants can be age 6 months to up to 64 years. So it's good for individuals that are waiting to go on Medicare. If there's a gap, sometimes there is between retirement and Medicare. Again, it's accept or reject right on the spot. There's an e-signature for the application, and then they're issued immediately. Here are the 5 questions that are asked. Again, if any of these are answered yes, they will get a notice pop-up that says they are not eligible for coverage and that they will need to contact their agent for another alternative. And medical questions could vary in some states. Exclusions and limitations, there are a couple that I do like to highlight because I get questions from agents on quite often. One is pregnancy. Pregnancy is not covered under the short-term product unless there's complications for the mother, and then it's covered as a sickness. Newborns can be added to the program or to the policy within 30 days, so they can be added and be covered. Also, injuries due to school sports are not covered. I like to point those two out because, again, I do get quite a few questions on those. Waiting period on coverage for sickness, generally 72 hours. And here's the state availability. Where coverage is available now is in the blue. Future states, which we have already filed in, and we're hoping to have before open enrollment, are in orange. And the black states we have not filed in yet. So we should have very good coverage by open enrollment. Services are provided. Allied National does all the administration. They do the billing, they do the claims payment. So for any of those questions, you will be going to Allied National. The member portal for certificate and ID fulfillment is done through Pivot Health. And we'll see a little bit later that the insured will get an email that will welcome them to the program. And within that email, it will give them a temporary password and a login for them to download their certificate and their ID card. They will get this each coverage period, an email with a new certificate and a new ID card for their coverage period. So real quickly, to just show you what to expect and how easy it is to apply. Once you're appointed and you receive your customized URL with your information on it, what will happen was you will get a co-branded landing page for your clients. And on that will have your logo, your contact information, phone, and email. And then the quoting system behind that is the Pivot Health system. Very easy to apply. Simply put in a few pieces of information to get a quote. You can either pay monthly or you can prepay for the 90 days. You can't prepay for the entire coverage period for all 4 of them, but you can prepay for the 90 days. If the applicant does prepay for the 90-day plan, they will get a 25% discount. There is some information. We tell them how the back-to-back works and what it's all about so they understand. And then you get the quote. And the quote will show you each plan and the rates for that plan, a very highlighted or high-level breakdown of the benefits. From there, you can click on one of the plans that you're interested in to get more information on plan benefits. You can click within the little boxes there, and that will even give you more information on the different plan plan benefits. From here, you can go ahead and say, I want to purchase this plan, and then you begin the application process. Again, there's 5 questions that they have to answer. Answer no to all the questions. They will get issued, and they will start the application process. The application process is very easy. Ask your primary contact information and the dependent information. Then you have to pay the coverage. We only accept credit cards or debit cards, Visa, MasterCard, or Discover, and that is the only form of payment for all 4 coverage periods. The applicant then will get some terms and acceptance that they have to go through. They'll e-sign it, and then they'll be issued. Again, they'll receive an email that will welcome them to Pivot Health and provide them with a link to their ID cards and their certificates. So that is basically it with the for the short-term product. Unless anybody has any questions, I would like to go on to the limited medical product. I don't know, Tabby, if you have any questions in the question box, or we can just move
there
forward and
actually
wait for the
is. There's just
Okay.
a couple. So if a person has an ongoing claim, when a renewal comes up, will the insured get a new 90-day benefit period maximum?
Yes.
Okay. And then another comment, very leery about how docs work. Any are always having trouble with these plans. I'm kind of curious what he means by docs. If he's talking about the doctors in the network, or the docs in the.
Well, there's no network, so that's probably what he's talking about. And you know, just to let you know, when we first rolled out these plans, we had some insureds, not a lot, but some went to the doctor, and the doctor said, "Oh, I don't belong to this network, Pivot Health Network." Mm-hmm. So they would have to explain there is no network, that everybody belongs to it because there is no network, and basically, you know, what they get paid. Now, we had a problem with the ID cards because it really didn't put on there what the payment was, and the 125% and the 150% for, you know, reference-based pricing. We have since changed those cards front and center of what the provider gets paid, and they call us, we let them know. We have had very little pushback since we changed the ID cards. So, and, you know, a lot more acceptance of the plan because kind of upfront of what they get paid.
Sure. And so definitely as the agent, you want to make sure that you're communicating to your customers as well, it sounds like.
Absolutely. And we also have on the printout for the ID card instructions for the insured. And if by some chance something happens and they're maybe at like a quick med or, you know, some type of facility that is saying that they don't accept it, if they call Allied will call that facility for them and explain to them the procedure and the claims payment process.
Perfect.
So
Thank you.
they're very hands-on. And again, the balance billing, there is no balance billing. If the insured gets a balance bill, they should send it to Allied, and Allied will negotiate that down for them.
Excellent. All right, that was it.
Okay, great. Okay, our next product, again, it's a limited medical product or a fixed benefit health insurance product. This is called Pivot Care, and it's offered through Pivot Health. Pivot Care is underwritten by Standard Life and Accident Insurance. Most of you probably know that company, and it's marketed through Pivot Health. So for anybody, Standard has been in the business for 60 years. They provide accident and critical illness and limited medical benefits as this, and have been doing so since they've been in business. So let's talk about Pivot Care. What are the advantages of Pivot Care? Extremely affordable. There's 5 plans that can fit in any type of budget, and the best thing about these plans is that they pay cash payments for both sickness and accident, regardless of other coverage. So there's no deductibles, there's no co-insurance, it's first dollar benefits. Benefits don't vary whether you're in or out of network. They pay the same dollar no matter what. And as an added benefit to these plans, Pivot Care uses the First Health Network as its underlying passive network, so to speak. What makes Pivot Care unique? Again, no deductibles, no co-insurance limits to meet. It's very easy for the insured to know exactly what they're going to get paid. It includes specific cash payments for both sickness and accident, regardless of other coverage, and also regardless of what the doctor is charging. Daily inpatient benefit pays $3,000 to $6,000 a day, and it's all year long. This is a 365-day a year coverage, so it's a full year coverage. There's an ICU benefit that pays up to $6,000 to $12,000 a day, up to 30 days. Included in the Pivot Care product, there's a critical illness rider that for invasive cancer, stroke, heart attack, and end-stage kidney failure. Also embedded in the product is an accidental death and common carrier life insurance benefit. There's no specialist referrals and no pre-certification needed for this plan. The benefits are fixed amounts that pay for doctor office visits, hospital stays, labs, x-rays, ambulance, immunizations, MRIs, very, very rich benefits for, and it's kind of an oxymoron, rich benefits for a limited medical plan, but very rich for this type of coverage. Hospitalization coverage includes a daily benefit, there's an ICU benefit, as I mentioned earlier, and there's a surgery benefit, and no claim forms are needed. Also, there's additional benefits for fractures and burns and dislocations. We talked about ambulance and accidental death. There's a substance abuse benefit and a mental health benefit. So all of these are available, and benefits do vary by state. So who are candidates for this product? Someone that are short-term medical plan buyers that really want a full year of coverage, not eligible for ACA or refusing to buy ACA because of the coverage, because of the affordability. It's a good supplement for high deductible plan owners to supplement their coverage, so they can get some of that first dollar benefit to help them with their deductibles. Families, can't afford ACA, but want to be able to want to get some type of benefit if their child has to go to the hospital because of an accident or has to go to the doctor because they're sick. It wouldn't cover catastrophic, but it would help them through their basic needs. To give you a cost comparison, we said it was very affordable, and to do that, we're going to compare it again, like we did the short-term product. We're going to use a silver plan. Again, that was the most popular plan over the past couple years. For the deductible is $5,000, $3,500 on the silver plan, and you're going to pay, $381 and almost $500 for the $3,500, and that's per month. With the Pivot short-term product for $5,000, we're going to get it down below $100. For a $2,000 deductible, it's $186, and we saw that on the earlier slide. For the fixed indemnity or limited medical plan for Pivot Care, plan 1 at the $0 deductible, because there's no deductibles or coinsurance on this plan, you pay $47. Plan 5, you pay $178. So again, below the other two alternatives, making this extremely affordable. This is going to give you an example, of the benefits for the plans. You'll see the primary doctor office visit. There is a benefit for injury and for sickness. There is a limit per year. Hospitalization, again, for injury and sickness, you'll see the different payouts there. And again, these are what the plan will pay for these benefits. Plan 4 and 5, you'll see Plan 5, which we said was $178 in premium, is the richest plan. So again, extremely affordable, very rich benefits for this type of plan. I had mentioned that Pivot Care does use a PPO network. an underlying PPO network, you're not required to use the network or not. If you do, your claims may be lower, and you may get more benefit from your benefit that you get from your plan. First Health Network is the premier PPO network. It has more than 5,000 hospitals, 90,000 ancillary facilities, and 550,000 professional medical providers. And they have over 1 million healthcare service locations. So very big network. If you want to use the network, you absolutely could find a provider. If you happen upon it, you would still get the benefit of going. I wanted to give you an example of a claims payout. People, limited medical plans, people say, well, what if my hospital and my doctor was $50,000 and you're paying me, $5,000? Well, you're going to have that big delta. Well, we took some examples of some claims, and the first one is an illness claim. So a person has an illness, they're confined to a hospital for 4 days. We're using an average of what the hospital would be per day. There was a surgery involved, anesthesia involved, and so you'll see the average cost for the actual claim came to $14,696. The Pivot Care 3 reimbursement would be $12,000 for the hospital confinement, which it cost $9,000. That was the bill. The surgery would pay $1,000. The surgery cost was $3,800. And Pivot would pay $200 for the anesthesia, where it cost $1,600. The total claim again would be $14,696. The Pivot plan would pay $13,200 of that. The standard major medical plan with a $5,000 deductible, 80/20, pretty basic, very average plan. You'll see what they would pay. The plan would pay about $7,700, which would leave the balance for the insured to be about $6,000, almost $7,000. The balance for the insured with the Pivot Care plan is about $1,500. So you see here where the Pivot Care actually paid better than the standard plan. Now this is a claim for an injury. So with the injury, again, there was hospital confinement, there was a fractured leg, so there was a surgery, there was an ER admission, and there was anesthesia. The total claim was $17,494. Pivot would pay, based on those claims, would pay $12,900, and standard major medical, again, same plan, would pay on average $10,000, $9,995. With the Pivot Care plan, there'd be about $4,500 out of pocket, and with the major medical products, with the deductible and the co-insurance, you're going to pay about $7,500. So again, quick comparison, just so you can see that, some cases Pivot pays more than what was charged, and that all adds up and pays to the provider. So, and sometimes they pay less, but in this case, the insured paid less out of pocket. So Pivot Care, the state availability, these are the states we're available in today. The Pivot Care product is similar enrollment to the short-term product, where there's, although there's 8 questions that are considered eligibility knockout questions. If you answer yes to any of the 8 questions for Pivot Care, you will be denied coverage and unable to apply. And the same thing happens. They would know immediately whether they would be accepted or rejected. So the process for Pivot Care is is the same as it is for the short-term medical. You will receive, after you're appointed, you will receive a unique URL for Pivot Care. It's going to be different than your Pivot Health short-term URL, which really is a good thing for you for your website. If you have buttons that say short-term medical here and other alternatives here, you can separate the two and promote and market that way. But once you receive your URL that has your writing number on there, your customers come to a co-branded web page that will have your name and your contact information on it. And here the quoting begins. So you're going to find plans. You're going to go ahead and it's simple to understand and simple to apply. They're going to see that it's a fraction of the cost of ACA plans. Again, it's accept or reject right there online, and there is online or there is a telephone process that is also available. Basically, the applicant will fill out simple information: date of birth, gender, name, zip code, email address, requested effective date. The age of the applicant could be a child of 30 days or up to 64 years. Again, if the child is 30 days and it's a child on the plan, they must pass their 4-week physical checkup. So that is the only thing that will be asked. The quote, then the applicant will see the cost of all the plans. All the plans come up. They're all available in all counties and the states that they're available in. The plan details, the applicant can return to the quote page, or they can buy the plan that they see right there. Again, they'll go through the questions, the 8 questions. If they answer yes, that means they're not eligible. If they answer no to all 8 questions, the next application to fill out with their information. The billing and payment page would come up. The credit card for this product is required for the first payment. After that, we can do ACH, and it would be monthly. And then there would be a confirmation and an e-signature page. I'm so sorry. The applicant or the insured at this point would receive an email similar to the short-term product that would have their temporary password and their link so that they could download their certificate and their ID card. So what do you do to get started with the Pivot Health products? You go to your website, AHCP, and you can go there and you can find brochures. From what I understand, you can find the brochures and all the contracting information. Fill that out, send that in, and once you send that in and are appointed, now the paperwork is for both products, and you'd have to get appointed with both carriers, Companion Life and FLACO or Standard Life. And once that's done, you will receive your unique URLs within 5 days. So if you have any questions or need more information, or you want your appointment paperwork, you can call your service center there. And just to be clear, for the Standard Life product, there are appointment fees. The appointment fees will be deducted from your first commission check. For the companion plan, there are no appointment fees. So just to end with a couple of disclaimers, these plans are not intended to cover all medical expenses. It does not qualify for the minimum essential dental coverage, minimum essential coverage that satisfies ACA for the individual mandate. So if someone does go with these plans, they may be additional tax penalties. And we all know that ACA has been up in the air since the election, so we watch it closely so that we can bring you different products or make changes to the products for you, but definitely alert you to let you know what's happening there. And also, please note that plans and benefits may vary by state. So that is the end of that, and I didn't know if anybody had any questions.
There's just a couple. One question was in regards to what is the underwriting like on this product?
Okay, this product again is accept or reject. So it's just the 8 questions that are there, that were there on the screen, and there's no underwriting. So basically, if they answer no to these 8 questions, they're issued. If they answer yes to one of them, they'll get knocked out and they'll be denied coverage.
Perfect.
But that happens right on the website.
Perfect. The next question was in, can you possibly show the slide with the state availability again for the indemnity plan? Perfect, thank you. Okay, and then the next question was in regards to what if someone is already contracted with standard but is with a Medicare sup instead? Is it like, can you do a dual appointment?
Well, yeah, they would still have to be appointed because they're getting appointed for the Pivot Care product, but they would not pay any additional fees or anything like that.
How does this cover tests like echocardiograms, nuclear stress tests, and heart? I'm assuming is that supposed to be catheters? What is that? But anyway, just in regards to kind of your stress tests, your cardiograms, those sorts of things, how does this cover tests like that?
That's a very good question, and but I can definitely get back to you on that one.
Okay. All right, perfect. Thank you, Stephen. And will new state availability be filed for RE limited benefit plans?
For the Pivot Care? Yes, we do plan to file in additional states. It probably won't happen until 2018, though.
Okay. Let's see. And then I assume that there's no pre-existing conditions accepted at all, or is there a time limit?
It goes back, I want to say it goes back 5, the look back is 60 months.
Okay, perfect. And then I think that was, I think that was it. It looks like maybe on the website might have been added incorrectly. Instead, I think it said AHCP.com. It's AHCPsales.com.
Oh, okay.
Yep. There we go. No worries.
There.
Yep. Okay. So we'll make sure that, so just the website, I've had a couple people ping about it. It's www.ahcpsales.com, and you should be able to find everything there. For commission-wise, percentages, whatnot, you'll need to call into the AHCP team. They'll be able to go over your commissions, what level you're at, if you have a hierarchy over you, manager, whatnot. So they'll be able to give you details in that regard. And then the next question, look back period for pre-existings on the short-term medical plans. Is there time duration on that?
Yeah.
Not the limited, but the short-term.
Right. So the short term, it does ask the question, and then the look back period is, give me 2 seconds. And I didn't mention, but I should. There is a free look period for the short term product. For they have 10 days that they can cancel that coverage.
Excellent.
I'll have to get back to you on that one. I believe
Okay.
it's also 60 months, but I want to confirm that with you.
Sure. And I can capture all the questions and send them forward to you, so that's not a problem. And then the next question was, if somebody takes blood pressure medication or cholesterol medication, is that considered a pre-existing for future vascular events?
Yes.
Okay. And yes, Rick, that was 60 months. Let's see. Trying to get some of these myself here that I caught.
Now, the underwriting questions do state, 2 years or 5 years. That's what they ask for. That is
Sure.
kind of their pre-ex for the underwriting. But if something does occur, they do have the right to go back to 60 months.
Okay. And then for that question in regards to the the blood pressure and the cholesterol medications, was that for all products for the short-term medical as well as the limited?
Yes.
Okay. You guys have some great questions. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. It looks like any other questions that might be coming in? I think that's it. I think that wraps it up for everyone.
Great.
All right. Well, perfect. You did a fantastic job. Definitely appreciate your time, Rob. Very, very valuable. I appreciate your time as well as everybody who participated in today's, training. If there's no further questions, feel free, to go ahead and bounce off. Otherwise, you can always send it to training@ahcpsales.com, and we can go ahead and field those questions as well and get them over to either Robin or another team member or myself and see if we can get you some answers. Okay. Well, thank you so much. Everybody have a fantastic day.